I would not legalize the drugs that are currently illegal. And I'll talk about that. Just giving you up front what my viewpoint, and that in general, that because of addiction, because of the threats, that I don't mind people trying this stuff, but the threat, the possibility of people getting addicted causes problems to society, and thus that's why we need to keep these things illegal. This is about, well, I'll talk about regular drugs, but I'll talk about, it's mostly about illegal drugs and should we allow them. My viewpoint on that. I personally believe that, I don't know, there's this, the Indians, they smoke their, what's it called, the weed or something to get in touch with God and stuff. You know, it sort of opens up the spiritual link. I forget what the Indians call that, but there's a maybe I should look it up. The words are mistaken. I can't seem to find them. So it's about you know, it gets in. I think that these some of this medication, even the pharmaceuticals, drugs, they sort of like they have some derivative of the illicit stuff in them, and so like that's the stuff I'm on. This is Risperdal and Depakote, and people have said that this Risperdal is like sort of a derivative of acid. So that's how the pharmaceuticals. I don't know. They make the stuff and disperse it, but I guess it has a purpose. So I'm assuming it's. I talk about in my morph that it was like required for my morph. I was in need of, what did I take? I think it was Risperdal at the time. Yeah, they gave me Risperdal, and I allege that that's what allowed me to have my morph, because I needed some kind of whatever's in that stuff to open up the spiritual land or something, to connect me to that world in which I was able to allow spirits inside of me. So it was, and what I found interesting, what I found about it is that it can't really occur when you're on it. It occurs a week or two, or as an after effect. It's kind of like working out. You got to like stop it in order to actually see the actual results spiritually, or at least for me. I know that people, I wish I could remember the word that the Indians use for they get in touch, good guy, I wish I could have found that, to get in touch with the spirit, the holy, their spirit guide, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. That's why they smoke something, or to get in touch with it. But I find that I have better after effects. For instance, I was on a lot of the medication I was on a huge dose of medication when the bees died. I think that was 2007, December, when the bees died. What was happening, I think it was 2007 or 2006. Hang on. Yeah, it was I had March. I was on a huge dose of these drugs, and doctors have sort of a tendency to keep upping it, right? Well, for medical reasons, I was having. Anyways, I talk about it in other links, but I went off at 8th of December, 2006, and that's when it's the 10th when the bees died. 2 days later, it took so just the after effects. So it's like I've been on this drug for so long, huge dosage of this stuff, that it produced a huge effect when I went off of it again, the working out had to stop to rebuild, kind of like rebuild and assess what's going to happen. And the bees died, and a bunch of other creatures got minimized. They didn't die; they just got minimized considerably because magic is now helping the world pollinate and do other things that were required by insects before. So we didn't need as many insects. So that's why I know that the drugs that I'm on are good for me. I know that they are. It's just that they keep upping them, and it's like I had this medical condition that anyways, I had to limit what I'm on. So, one second. I guess what I was trying to say earlier, I kind of wandered off a little bit, but what I was trying to say is I'm for the trying of, I'm wandering here, sorry. I want to get back to the topic of whether illegal drugs is okay, but I will just say that for me, it's you know, I know I'm a different entity. But these drugs, I guess these drugs are important for one's spirituality. I call them spiritual drugs. The stuff that I'm on, it's spiritual food. So, I just want to say, aside from me, I just to understand that I know that I'm a different creature, and that it works differently for me. What I have about drugs and the illicitness of it, and whether it should be illegal or not, that question is, I guess, the answer to that question, and maybe that's how I should have started the video off, but I'll say it now, that I think that the drugs, that we should be allowed to try them, but that I can understand why they'd make them illegal, because I guess some of the stuff you get addicted to or something, or the people who are applying this stuff, you have to have it. And I'm still quite unsure what addiction is. That people find this stuff fascinating. I've tried stuff, cocaine, marijuana. Actually, I was getting stuff when I was in the Twin Cities. I was getting stuff handed to me. They were telling me it was marijuana, but it wasn't. I think it was meth or something. It just was weird ass stuff. And for some reason, I would just take it. I don't know. Sometimes I question. I'm so interested in trying these things that they end up giving me crap to try to get me hooked. That's the thing, and I can't get hooked because I don't get addicted. I don't understand addiction. I don't understand why people do get addicted. And the euphoria from, I've tried acid, the euphoria that you get from these things, I don't understand what the big deal is. I find it curious. That's why I want to try these things. I've tried mushrooms. That you experience this stuff and you go, why do people find a fascination in this stuff? I mean, it's like, you know, it's there, and but why people? I want to try heroin sometime. If I ever get my hands on it, I'll try it. And it's almost I almost have this thing where I'm like, it's there. Like they say that they get addicted to that stuff right away. Meth the same way. Well, that's like bullcrap. I mean, it's almost like a challenge to me. Okay, let's try it. And that's the thing. I just want to try it once, and I feel that I would like everybody to try it once. The problem is to experience it. The problem is that they get addicted or something, I guess. And so, for me, I like to try the stuff once, and I wish it wasn't illegal for that way, but I guess I can understand if for the protection of the society as a whole from the people that get addicted, I guess you need to create this. You need to make it illegal to keep society safer. I guess I don't know if I don't know if you're doing heroin, if that creates crime. I guess it might. That's the thing. You gotta equate all these things. You know, if people, yeah. I mean, these things, if they create crime, that's not good for society. And so I guess that's why they make it illegal. So, and I guess up to this point, I mean, if the stuff was not, if it was all legal, I know, see, what's it called? Ron Paul is running, and I guess he had a statement. I'm recording this in 2011. What is it here? It's May 26th. Ron Paul just did he's running for presidency, and he saw something on Congress, and he's saying, you know, I don't, he'd like to make everything legal, the drugs legal, because who's going to be, he makes an effort. I should get a clip of it, but he says, who in the audience is going to go get this stuff? And the thing is I would raise my hand because I would like to try heroin. The thing is there's going to be about 10 others raising their hand, and the problem is they're going to try that stuff, and they're going to get addicted, and that's where the problem occurs. Is that creates crime or whatever, or just a bad, just, you know, just goes to hell. I know that I can't get addicted. I consider it a challenge to try these things. To say, well, I don't know what the big deal is. I don't understand. So, I one second. So I guess I'm saying to Ron Paul, I like Ron Paul, but I guess what I'm saying to him is he's kind of an idiot for doing that, because he doesn't have the intelligence to understand that people, even though nobody raised their hand in the audience, nobody's going to be a fool. The problem is that there's a bunch of people that are going to go try the stuff because they're curious, and the next thing you know, we got a fallen society, or we got 5% of the folks that are trying this stuff are just completely losing themselves in society, or maybe 10%. Or I don't know how bad the addiction rates are, but that's why Ron Paul was incorrect in doing that. He made himself look like a fool doing that. And I understand his point, because who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? He just didn't understand. I mean, like I said, I like the guy. He can't be saying stuff like that. I mean, you got to understand how it works. And I don't even understand addiction, but I know that people get addicted. So I know how it works, and you can't make a statement that says, you know, let's legalize this stuff. So that's what I'm saying about this stuff. And I should have made that my first statement and talked about the use of my prescription stuff that went into the spirituality and how it affected society and reality. It's actually made an impact on reality. It's going to, at this rate though, it's going to probably be I'm going to live for 500 years in order to, at this rate, to actually escalate to something where we actually have heaven on earth, right? I sure as heck better be immortal, because and live forever, because the way it's going, it's a long journey. It takes a long time to get magic happening on the earth. I don't know, I keep wandering off while I keep talking about my spirituality and how it affects me in the midst of a clip that's supposed to be meant for illegal drugs. But I named it The View of Drugs because, I guess, let's talk about all drugs and what it does to me and what it does to society. I guess the medication, like for antidepressant, it's horrible, man. I know I got a friend that's got depression, and I've experienced depression actually as of this video I've had lately, and a little depressed about what I'm doing. In my timeline, I'm at this point researching going to law school, or maybe master's computer science again. And I don't know, it's just for depression, for me, I'm another change, another trying to figure out if this is for me, because it's like, you know, one second. Sorry, my mind went blank there for a second. But depression, and it's like these drugs, it's good that they exist, and I consider them spirituality drugs as well. So in the midst of talking about, I don't know what those antidepressants do, but I guess what I'm on is kind of like that too. It's supposed to be a. They give it to. I guess when you're bipolar, they call me bipolar. I guess I'm depressed and manic all the time, and I've rarely ever been depressed. 10 years ago, I was like suicidal for a while, but other than that, it's just depression is. And these drugs, I guess, keep that from happening. I found I was very suicidal because of the drugs. That's and that's why I had to go off them back in, what was that, 2002 when I got fired from GE. I was just so suicidal that I had to get off the drugs because I know that I have a natural high in life that I could gain non-depression simply by eliminating whatever the drugs are doing. I realize I need to get off because it's how do I say this? I find the drugs to actually be sort of a depressant. I found myself more suicidal on the stuff, so I got off it because I find myself positive without it. And I'm not sure that's what everybody experiences, but I know there's question mark about what these drugs are doing. People are going, crazy with guns or something because of the medication. I didn't. Anyways, I'm not. I don't know. This medication stuff is definitely overdone. They say it's a conspiracy that the doctors are getting paid cuts of money by the pharmaceuticals for issuing more drugs. So I believe that. I also believe that they just think whenever they keep upping my dosage, I try to figure out what the hell are they doing. Are they trying to get more money from these pharmaceuticals? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they just think I'm completely nuts, and I've said nothing to give them that impression, except for that I am Jesus. And I didn't even say that in an interview with a doctor. It is simply, we just want you on more because we just think you're gonna. I don't know if they think I'm gonna kill or something. It's just bloody amazing. And when I decided to go on my own medication dosage, it's like I think they're shocked that I haven't killed or something. I swear to God, these people are. I cannot figure out for the life of me what gives a person the indication. I mean, the indication that I'm unstable. I look at my videos that I've posted, and I just think it's just extremely good. I'm just a natural at doing this. To me, these are just well done videos. Almost everyone that I do, I'm proud of, and I talk legibly. I talk clearly. Complicated topics, I can make them easy. I'm a good teacher. And yet somehow, so I know how I present myself. And yet somehow, I walk into a doctor's office and they want to just shove more medication down my throat. So it's interesting when you videotape yourself, you get an idea of how you present yourself. And I do not understand why people want to shove more medication down. I really don't. Anyways, I've kind of contemplated the ending of the psychiatric profession because I just think they're a bunch of morons for how they've treated me. Yet I understand that there's people with issues out there that need to be addressed, I suppose, and that they serve a purpose. But boy, I tell you what, for a while there, I couldn't wait to end them. I couldn't wait to get to the top so I could just wipe the profession off the map. I was so pissed off at them for calling me mentally ill. I tried to sue them for, how dare you call me mentally ill? It screwed my life up. I can't get a job now because you guys are calling me mentally ill. You should see these documents they've got. Psychotic and delusional, and it's like psychotic is like a loss of reality. But it just sounds bad. That damn word, psychotic. But that means loss of reality, or don't understand what reality is. And the thing is I'm actually in touch with reality more than anybody on the planet. I understand how it's working. I describe it on my websites, how this stuff's working, and I'm accurate. And I'm willing to swear to it under oath and bet money on it. And these guys won't do that. My psychiatrist won't even testify that I'm mentally ill. He won't make a sworn statement. So I wouldn't doubt that there's probably other people in my situation, which the doctors couldn't swear that they're mentally ill either. Well, I mean, it's just they make up some horrible stuff. I mean, tell you, man, I think I might be repeating the stuff that's on the psychiatric link, my view of psychiatry. Anyways, I should maybe hold off here. Let's see here. What do you think? I perhaps should focus on talking about drugs in general. It's not just psychiatric drugs, but that's the majority of the stuff. Doctors issue drugs too, and that's all good, and that's all, cures pain and who knows? I mean, what else? I mean, they've got all these drugs that for cholesterol and just everything. I mean, it's a huge business. I understand it's anyways, on the pharmaceutical end, it's like it's big business trying to keep you healthy and trying to keep you alive, because they know that you'll invest any amount of money in that endeavor to keep yourself alive. So they tell you about all these drugs, and I mean pharmaceutical. What they got? I saw this. What was it? $1,500 for a pill that would stop a woman from say she's prone to not miscarriages, but what was it? But early delivery. In other words, she's prone to deliver early, like months early. So this stuff, they developed this drug and they charged $1,500 for it, and that went on the news. And then I heard that after everybody complained, they lowered it down to, I think, $900 a pill. And I think you got to take it. I think you got to take it daily in order to keep yourself from having early delivery. And so this gets pretty expensive. You're spending $100,000 on having a kid now, and they understand that people will do that. It's all a matter of how much can they get out of your pockets, and that's the problem with life and survival, is that we're willing to spend anything on it, on our lives, and on being alive. And that's the bet. That's why that's such a huge business, because they know damn well we'll spend any amount of money to make that so. So yeah, the pharmaceuticals they're trying to make a buck. That's what they're doing. But they're trying to do their best, and unfortunately, there's a few bad drugs that end up killing people, and they're trying to avoid that. At the same time, rake enough money out of you so they can pay for those costly bills of getting sued. And I think they have. It'd be nice if they had good intentions in hand, that they just. In other words, the premise that perhaps they're creating just any drug just to get you to buy it for expensive, telling you what it's going to do, and gambling that it doesn't kill you, and then hopefully they've raked up enough money that says, oh, well, it was worth it. You would hope, on the other hand, they're actually trying their best, their best to actually create the drug. That's not going to do that, and it'd be nice if they were charging that so much so that they, at the same time, that's probably the conspiracy of the pharmaceutical. They're just rolling dice, and they're saying let's make up a thing that this does this, and let's sell it big, and hopefully it pans out. That's usually the trial test is actually on the population. That's how It seems like it's how it's working lately.